What's up, my PEV fam? This is your boy Carlos again. I'm so very sorry. I have not posted any videos in a long time. I have been unfortunately dealing with some health issues that are now starting to resolve, thanks the Lord. My job has been extremely busy, which I am very thankful and I feel blessed to say that. But at the same time, unfortunately, has kept me away from my PEV family. So I missed you guys. I am very sorry about not posting for a while. Today's video, by the way, I wanted to share with you. My wife went riding on her 09 a couple of weeks ago, and she came home to me with a flat tire on her 09. That dreaded flat tire that we all hate. So on today's video, I will be showing you guys how I changed my tire for the 09, and a couple things that I uncovered in the process that I'm not too happy about, but they're fixable, and Rev Rides actually helped me some with this situation. So I also decided to get some of this stuff here. Ordered some Armor-Dilloz, which I'll be going over with this, or about this, I'm sorry, in the video as well. A couple findings that I did by ordering this. On our ever so helpful group on Facebook at PEV Riders Club, a lot of the members suggested this, so thank you guys for the suggestion. Again, I decided to order this because apparently this thing can fix a tank tire, never get flat again. So we'll see if it's true or not. I've been using this in the past, and it's a hit and miss in my opinion. I have noticed sometimes when you get a flat tire, this can help, sometimes it doesn't. So in my opinion, it's probably because it depends on the damage done to the tube inside the tire that this may work or may not work. Again, this is supposed to be to fix Superman's flat tire, so we'll see. All right guys, I'll see you at the end of the video.
I know I said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. I hate flat tires. Okay, the very first step is going to be to remove the rear brake cable. You can loosen this up by hand. Now we need to slide the brake cable out. Make sure you put the back lever farther out, and then it comes right off. Next, we are going to remove this Allen screw. This screw is what prevents the brake drum from rotating as we are using our brakes. While you're on this side of the tire, go ahead and remove completely the axle nut. You are able to remove it completely on this side, but on the other side, you won't have to. Now here, we are going to remove the retention cable screw by using a Phillips screwdriver. Next, we are going to unplug the rear motor cable. This cable needs a little bit of pressure to come out, so be careful. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can go ahead and loosen up this axle nut, but you won't be able to remove it completely to get the tire out. Now, if you're doing this by yourself, hold on to the scooter deck and just pull firmly on the tire and it should come right off. Voila! One little side tip, if you have a spare tire, in this case I'm using my 010X spare tire, you can use it as support while doing this. Now just go ahead and remove the brake drum as it just slides out. Next, we are going to remove the 6 Allen screws on the outer part of the rim. Please do make sure that you're not removing the screws on the inner side, because these screws are the ones that are holding the motor together. Next, while holding down on the motor, pull up the split rim and it should come right off. Now just go ahead and remove the split rim out so you can get your damaged tube and inspect it to see if it's fixable or if it's something that you're gonna have to replace completely.
All right, guys. One thing I wanted to show you here in the middle of the video, if you have the 09 scooter and you had a flat tire and you found this plastic protector for the valve stem, and this is the cost, unfortunately for my wife, this was the cost of the flat tire. I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not, but hopefully in the video when I put it inside the water bowl, you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see that damage here. Hopefully the camera can show it. But right there, this protector, Reinstalling, they were so kind. These guys are the greatest, by the way. They told me that long time ago, the manufacturer was putting this plastic protector for some reason, and they discovered that this was causing, once the tube is inflated, to damage it, and obviously to cause a cut or a slice on it. So this, for my wife, it was the case. So Reinstalling, and if you purchase your stuff from Reinstalling and this is your same issue you're having after you get a flat and you have inspected that this is there and the damage is done by that there, it's pretty obvious it was by that, they will send you a replacement tube for free, which again, is just awesome. In my opinion, that's just great. Great customer service. So thank you, Reinstalling. So here, this tube is obviously done. So we're out with it. We don't need it. And now I will show you guys Armor-Dilloz. Because one thing I liked about them, they're pretty neat, actually. Here, Team Dilloz. Thank you, Carlos. We greatly appreciate your business. So, little care package from Dilloz. And we have the blue formula. And the red formula. According to Armor-Dilloz, when I talked to them, when I called them before I placed my order, I was asking them, what should I use for this type of thing? Because I didn't know what the puncture was from. Obviously, in this video, you guys will see that I had to replace to a new tube because that's not fixable. Because it's a cut, it's not a hole. So they told me that the red option here is for anything that goes not past 30 miles an hour. So perfect for the 010 and below. I got this one because I'm gonna add this to the 010X, because according to them, the blue one is like the ultimate version of greatness, where anything past 30 miles and is supposed to be their best option. So here it is. The one thing I will say, slime is very, very affordable, and it has worked in the past for me. Like I said again, it has worked in the past, but not every time. Now on this video, I didn't get the chance to show if Armor-Dilloz truly fix a tire without you having to change the whole tube, but you know what I mean. So the one thing I will say, slime is a lot more affordable. And Armor-Dilloz, I think, I don't want to say they're overpriced, because if they're great, I think it's worth it. But everybody's worth is different. So, but the price, I think it was almost $18, a little over $18 per bottle. And this bottle here, they have 8 ounces, I believe. Yeah, it's 8 ounces per bottle. So I think it's on the higher end of the price, but the company was very helpful, very knowledgeable. So again, I'm gonna try it, and I'll update you guys down the road to see if it's worth the almost $20 per bottle on this. So my personal preference when attempting to fix a tube, and trying especially to still use the same tube, you have to find the damage. Where is the damage? So the best way to do this is by using a water bowl. So you can place the tube on the water bowl, and voila, we can find here where the issue is. And as I was saying earlier, here it was surprising to me to find that the leak was by the valve stem. I was actually a little puzzled by it until I realized where the slice and cut was coming from. Here's where I realized that the slice that my tube has matches where the position where this stem protector is located at. I do not understand why the manufacturers decided to do this to begin with, but that's what's causing the issue. So this tube is no longer good. One thing I highly recommend is to have a couple spare tubes, because a flat tire is always bound to happen. So better be ready. There is a drive sign on the tire. Make sure that this is pointing clockwise and that the stem valve is pointing upwards. Now go ahead and start placing carefully your tube inside the tire. Make sure that it's not pinched anywhere. Make sure to take your time, as you want to make sure that once you start putting the rim back together, it does not puncture it. I also recommend to add in a tiny bit of air to the tube, just to make all this a little bit easier. And then make sure again that your tube is nicely placed. The next part is to put the half rim back together. Make sure that this half circle matches where the valve stem is. The motor side will also have on the other split rim the same matching half circle, which you will match with this part right here to make sure that the valve stem fits nice and neat. This next part should not take too much force, just press down and it should pop right in place. Next, we are going to reinstall the 6 Allen screws we removed originally on the outer part of the rim. As always, make sure that these are nice and tight.
Now that we have our tire back together, is when we are going to add Armor-Dilloz for the extra added protection, and hopefully to help you in the event of a regular puncture, not to stop you from having fun. Next, we are going to remove the valve stem of the tube. Armor-Dilloz is kind enough to send you a valve stem remover, which in this specific tire was actually helpful, as my original one was too big to fit in there. Armor-Dilloz did advise me to add 4 ounces to each tire. Now go ahead and put the valve stem back so we can just go ahead and inflate this tire. In my case, I had to use a valve extender because of the tip of my pump was too wide to fit on the rim. So a valve extender can always be a helpful part. Now we are just gonna work in reverse by placing the tire back onto the frame. Make sure that the motor cable is facing forward. Next, you can tighten up the axle nuts a little bit by hand, just to make sure that the tire doesn't move and allows you to continue to work on the rest. Next is going to be to reattach the motor cable. The motor cable has 2 arrows. They match together each end. So just follow that. It should be a simple process. Now we are going to reattach the cable holder. Remember that you use a Phillips screwdriver for this. Next, we are going to reattach the hex screw that holds the brake drum. Please make sure to match the hole on the swing arm with the threaded hole on the brake drum to make everything easier for you. Next, we are going to reinstall the drum that goes into the rear lever of the brake drum. Slide your brake cable through the drum. Make sure that your spring is obviously on the brake cable. And finally, just allow your brake cable to fit nice and seated in the frame. Now, by holding the rear brake drum lever, it will allow you and make it easier to reinstall your brake cables and nut. As you can see, this is easily done by hand. Last but not least, we're going to reinstall the axle nut and make sure that it's nice and tight to ensure that this wheel doesn't go flying off on us. Now, because we added tire sealant, it is always recommended to spin the tire for a few seconds or go outside and ride your scooter to make sure you're spreading the sealant all over the tube.
All right, my PEV family, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope it's going to be helpful to some of you in the event, or when, this is actually inevitable, when you get the dreaded flat tire, then hopefully you can come to this video and find it helpful to you. It's really not that hard to do. you just have to take your time to make sure that everything is done properly, make sure that all the bolts and everything is in place and everything is nice and tight again. You don't want to take a chance while you're out there riding. My wife is actually riding her scooter right now with my son, and she's happy again, and I feel like super husband right now. So you guys know the saying, happy wife, happy life. I also want to take this moment to thank you guys so much for the support that you have shown the channel. Even though I haven't posted anything in almost a little over a month, I believe. It's been a long time. I see some people were still subscribing, so thank you for that. I want to invite you to be part of our Facebook group, part of the family on Facebook as well at PEV Riders Club. We are actually right now are doing a giveaway. This is not a sponsored giveaway, so don't get too excited. I cannot give you a Ford Raptor just yet, but I will, basically what I'm doing, I will buy one of 3 items, and the 3 items that I selected, they're being voted on right now on Facebook. So as soon as the channel hits 300 subscribers and the group hits 300 members, which I think we're like 2 away from 300 members, I'm gonna let that voting keep going, the poll keep going for another week. And then whichever item wins, I will go ahead and purchase it for you guys and then send it to you. If you're in the US, I'll send it to you right away. If you're outside of the US, I have never done any shipping outside of the US, so I don't know how expensive it is. But if it's not too expensive, I'm still gonna send it to you in case you're one of our family members in the club that is somewhere around the globe. I'll leave you with this. I still keep seeing people getting hurt badly on the Facebook groups, not wearing gear, not even wearing a helmet. Guys, please, please wear your PPE. It could be a matter of death or life if you're not wearing this. It could be the difference between you going to the hospital and being in hurt and bad shape. So please, please wear all your PPE. And like always, thank you guys so much for being part of the family here at PEV Riders Club. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys. God bless you. Ride safe and ride freely. Bye-bye.